source.
A shouting match on the U.S. Capitol steps, and not between high schoolers, but two members of Congress, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Debbie Dingell. Taylor Greene came outside during the Democrats' news conference about protecting a woman's right to have an abortion. And a powerful rebuke tonight of the lie that was part of the foundation for January 6th. The GOP-run election audit in Arizona concludes Donald Trump lost by an even bigger margin in Arizona than initially thought. The election in Arizona was not stolen after costing millions of dollars. The audit tallied an additional 99 votes for President Biden and 261 fewer votes for President Trump. Tonight, our conversation with Arizona's Secretary of State. Is this validation?
We have been saying all along that this exercise was so fraught with problems that their report wasn't really going to have any validity.
The major news on boosters tonight, that third shot now going into arms across the country. Who's eligible and how quickly can you get a shot? Tonight, peak fire season in California, and a massive inferno is exploding tonight. Flames threatening more than 9,000 structures. Police on loudspeakers ordering evacuations. And as if firefighters weren't dealing with enough, authorities arresting a woman, charging her with starting the Fawn Fire. Tonight, the most populated country on Earth is sending the cryptocurrency market spiraling. Why China's central bank announced all cryptocurrency-related activities are illegal. We go by the numbers. And permission to dance? Absolutely. Our exclusive with global sensation BTS. The supergroup joining forces with the South Korean president to spread a powerful message. What do you say to fans who might be hesitant about getting the vaccine?
일단 저희도 모두 다 같이 백신을 맞았고 백신에 대해 두려움이 있다는 것은 저도 어느 정도 이제 공감을 하고, 왜냐하면 이전에 없었던 새로운 것이니까 무서운 게 당연하다라고 저도 공감을 하는데, 저는 이 과거의 것을 두려워한다면은 뭔가 앞으로의 발전은 없다고 생각을 하거든요.
And good evening. I'm Juju Chang in for Lindsay Davis tonight. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We'll have more on the start of those Pfizer booster shots in a moment, but we begin tonight talking about an election that ended nearly 11 months ago. Because despite no widespread evidence of fraud, GOP-led efforts to look for fraud continue, spurred by former President Trump's relentless false claims that they've cast doubts on results that even his attorney general called fair. These lies led to the deadly January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. But today, the GOP-backed partisan audit of the Arizona votes reaffirmed President Biden's win. And their audit actually resulted in a higher vote count for President Biden than the initial election results. Despite this, more states are moving forward with audits of the 2020 election. Texas just announced another audit into the results in some of its biggest counties. Tonight, many are worried about the eroding trust in our election systems that could impact the midterms and the 2024 election. We are standing by to talk with Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs about her thoughts on what she's called a partisan audit and the state of our democracy. But first, Terry Moran leads us off.
It wasn't what they were hoping for.
We'll get this show on the road, so to speak.
In the end, the Arizona Republican audit found 99 more votes for Joe Biden and 261 fewer for Donald Trump. Republicans in the legislature admitting today that their controversial months-long partisan review of the votes had found in the end that, yes, Joe Biden won Arizona.
Well, the interesting fact is truth, numbers are numbers.
For months, Donald Trump has been whipping up his supporters with baseless claims of election fraud and declaring that the Republican so-called audit in Arizona would provide the proof. Just last night, he put out a statement saying everybody will be watching Arizona and praising the highly respected auditors. That statement taken down today. Democrats in Arizona calling the GOP's audit useless and ridiculous.
The Arizona Republican-controlled state Senate has wasted taxpayer dollars perpetuating the consistently debunked false claims.
And for more, we bring in my friend Terry Moran. Terry, Arizona Republicans spent millions of dollars on this effort to confirm essentially what we've known for months. But there are other audit efforts taking place across the country.
There are, Juju. Look, Texas has just announced that they will perform one of these so-called audits in 3 counties. They pick and choose the counties they want to count. Also, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, they're looking at something similar. It's more of a partisan review than an audit because this is outside the normal election procedures and laws. Under those procedures and laws and challenges to them in court, there's no doubt about what happened in the election. So they cooked up new procedures, what they call an audit, but that's really a partisan review in many of these states. And even with that, Joe Biden still won Arizona by a little bit more than the first night's count, according to this so-called audit.
And in many ways, it's looking forward into the future, into elections down the road. And yet, Terry, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection has issued subpoenas to associates of former President Trump. What can you tell us about all that?
Well, Juju, these are subpoenas that go right to the heart of Donald Trump's inner circle. His chief of staff, Mark Meadows, has been subpoenaed. His deputy chief of staff at the time, Dan Scavino, he's been subpoenaed. His close confidant for many years and somebody who was really active in the post-election stuff that Donald Trump was doing, Steve Bannon, has been subpoenaed. And Kash Patel, who was over at the Department of Defense as chief of staff at the Pentagon and was involved in the president's efforts to get the military involved as well, he's been subpoenaed. So it shows that this committee means business. They want to go right as deep and as close to the former president as possible. And they say, the members of that committee, that they will use the power of the Justice Department to enforce these subpoenas if they are resisted.
So many questions ahead. Terry Moran, thank you as always. For more now, we bring in Arizona's Secretary of State, Katie Hobbs. Thanks so much for joining us, Katie.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, we know you're in charge of the state's elections, and you've been insisting that 2020 was a fair and accurate vote in your state. What are you feeling in this moment? Is this validation?
I wouldn't necessarily call it validation, although we have been saying all along that this exercise was so fraught with problems that their report wasn't really going to have any validity. We already knew that Joe Biden won the state of Arizona. He's the president. He has been for months. But the rest of the report is just so fraught with misinformation that's going to continue to perpetuate the issues we've been dealing with since the election.
And you wrote in an op-ed in June that for insisting on straightforward truths, simple enough, you've received in return death threats, armed protests at your home, and that you've had to get a security detail. What's that been like for you? And what do you make of the fact that so many of your counterparts are experiencing the same kind of threats?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's a little bit personally taxing, but I'm much more concerned about the bigger picture in terms of election officials and the experience they bring to the table, and the fact that this kind of attack and harassment has been happening for months, and it's causing a drain, not just from our office, but across the country. We're losing that expertise, and that is really a threat to our democracy.
I know that this audit in many ways is backward looking, but you're very much looking ahead. You said that you're concerned that by falsely saying that the 2020 election was stolen, that there are groups laying the groundwork to steal the next election. How real is that threat in your mind?
Oh, it's absolutely real. I mean, right now there are folks saying that this report should serve to decertify the 2020 election. That's not even a thing. It's not possible to do that. And even if it was possible, there's no evidence to do that. And so it's ridiculous. But they're just continuing to sow doubt and undermine confidence in the systems so that this kind of thing can continue happening. And I think if anyone's learned any lessons from watching this exercise in Arizona, it's that we shouldn't take seriously any leaders who try to replicate this so-called audit in their states.
It's been said that the Stop the Steal efforts were amateurish in some way, but now there's a more organized nationwide campaign to put in voting restrictions. I mean, as Secretary of State, what do you think of those developments?
Well, this is absolutely part of the multifaceted attack that we're seeing on the freedom to vote. And certainly a lot of election-related bills that make it harder for people to vote were introduced in legislative sessions across the country this year, more than we've ever seen. And these are predicated on the big lie and misinformation about the election. And they don't do anything to actually make election administration more effective or streamlined, make it easier for voters to vote. They just make it harder to vote. And most of them are based on things that aren't actually happening and non-existent fraud.
You mentioned that there are elements inside this report that you think only contribute to more disinformation. Without, giving more air to those nuggets of disinformation, what would you say about the nature of that information and how Americans should look at that report?
Well, I mean, Americans should look at the report very skeptically and keep in mind that the folks who ran this whole exercise and created this report, these quote unquote experts, are not experts. And they don't know what they're talking about in terms of how we run elections and what these things that they're finding and calling anomalies actually mean. Because there's an explanation for everything that they're saying. And so they're trying to undermine the integrity of the process, and they just have no validity to what they're saying.
And so what will it take ultimately, in your view, to bridge that mistrust gap?
Well, I think, fortunately, most voters, not most Republican voters, but most voters are on our side on this. They know that the election was secure and the results are accurate and that Joe Biden is the legitimate president of the country. And they're quite ready to just move on and deal with real issues facing our state and our country. And I'm going to keep speaking the truth about this. I know my colleagues across the country are committed to doing that as well. And that's really the best way to combat this misinformation.
Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs, thank you so much for being with us tonight and for your service. And we turn now to the latest on the pandemic as millions more Americans now qualify for a third Pfizer shot after the CDC director approved boosters for a wider group of people that includes frontline workers, a group the CDC advisory panel had voted against recommending for boosters just yesterday. The booster shot program is now rolling out at more than 30,000 locations across the country, including urgent care clinics, health centers, and pharmacies. ABC's Whit Johnson has the latest.
Across the country today, Americans who just became eligible for a Pfizer booster lining up to get that third shot. From Boston to San Antonio, where some waited for 2 hours.
Everyone should get their booster shot as soon as possible.
It comes less than 24 hours after the CDC signed off on Pfizer booster shots for people 65 and older, residents of long-term care facilities, and those 18 and older with underlying conditions. And on the one question that the CDC advisory panel said no to, boosters for frontline workers like teachers, daycare staff, grocery, and healthcare workers, the CDC director going against the panel, instead including those frontline workers, today defending her decision.
Our healthcare systems are once again at maximum capacity in parts of the country. Our teachers are facing uncertainty as they walk into the classroom, and I must do what I can to preserve the health across our nation.
And despite weeks of debate within the scientific community, today several health experts backing the CDC director.
Ultimately, this is an advisory committee, and Dr. Walensky gets to make the call, and she made the right call.
The boosters are now available at more than 30,000 locations nationwide, including urgent care clinics and pharmacies, like this Walgreens in Eastchester, New York.
How do you verify if someone is eligible for the booster?
We just ask them, honestly.
So it's the honor system?
Honestly, yeah, exactly. It is the honor system. We, take people's word for it. We don't dig too deep.
Up to 20 million Americans who got Pfizer are now eligible for a booster, but health officials are urging everyone else to wait their turn.
There will be temptations. There's an immunological reason why it's important to wait, because if you allow the immune response to mature over a period of a few months, you get much more of a bang out of the shot.
This new wave of booster shots does not include Moderna or Johnson & Johnson. An FDA review of those boosters is expected in the coming weeks. But the administration today putting the focus back on the unvaccinated.
I want to be clear. We will not boost our way out of this pandemic.
President Biden calling out the 70 million eligible Americans who still haven't gotten their first shot.
The unvaccinated overcrowd our hospitals, overrunning emergency rooms and intensive care units, leaving no room for someone with a heart attack or a cancer operation needed to get the life-saving care because the places where they would get that care are crowded.
And today, a reminder that breakthrough cases remain a threat. Confusion on set just moments before the vice president was to appear on The View on ABC.
We're back, and there seems to be something happening here that I'm not 100% aware of. Can someone please apprise me of the situation?
I need the two of you to step off for a second.
Okay. Anna and
we're going to bring
Sunny.
you back.
Co-host Sunny Hostin and guest host Anna Navarro asked to step off the set. Joy Behar then explaining they had just tested positive for COVID, even though they're both fully vaccinated.
What happened is that Sunny and Anna both apparently tested positive for COVID. No matter how hard we try, these things happen.
Kamala Harris was in the building, later joining the show remotely. Her office saying there had been no contact with the hosts before the broadcast.
I just want to say, I hope that you're in a safe spot right now. We did everything we could to make sure that you were safe because we value you so much.
Well, thank you, Joy, and to everyone. And listen, Sunny and Anna are strong women, and I know they're fine, but it really also does speak to the fact that they're vaccinated, and vaccines really make all the difference, because otherwise we would be concerned about hospitalization and worse.
And Whit Johnson joins me now. Whit, a lot of people are wondering tonight if they can get the Pfizer booster, even if they got Moderna or Johnson & Johnson originally.
Juju, studies are happening right now looking at combinations of different vaccines and booster shots, and we do expect to have some answers in the coming weeks. But for now, the FDA says there's just not enough evidence to know if it's safe and effective, and they're not yet ready to endorse a mix and match approach at this time. Juju.
Whit Johnson, thanks. And now to the deadly supermarket shooting in Tennessee. We've now learned the gunman's identity and his connection to that Kroger store. Also tonight, the harrowing stories of survival. ABC's Alex Perez reports from the scene.
Authorities tonight identifying the gunman they say unleashed a deadly rampage inside this Kroger grocery store as 29-year-old UK Thang.
Do you have a motive at this point? Do we know why?
I don't know that we'll ever know why. I know this. We're going to take it where the evidence takes us.
Thang, pictured here, an official says, did business with the store as a third-party vendor. We're also hearing the harrowing stories of survival. Sarah Wiles was buying ingredients for soup when she heard gunfire.
We just found a metal door and a cart that was stacked with boxes, and we tucked in behind it and made ourselves a hiding spot.
She's an ICU nurse. When she finally got out, she stopped to help with the walking wounded.
I am completely heartsick for the victims.
10 employees and 5 customers were shot. One customer killed, a 70-year-old Olivia King. Her son saying in a statement, they are devastated, and we believe that she had gone to daily mass and then simply went to the store. The community coming together at a prayer vigil this afternoon. Wiles with this message for first responders.
Job well done is not enough. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
And Alex Perez joins us now from Colliersville. Alex, authorities moved pretty quickly during this shooting. What kind of training did they fall on to prepare for this kind of tragedy?
Well, Juju, believe it or not, they trained for a scenario just like this one just back in June. The police chief here also believes the number of people inside the store who remember that run, hide, fight response, he believes that also played a key role in saving lives here. Juju?
Alex Perez, what a story. Thank you. And up next tonight, the wildfire emergency in the West and the new evacuations as the Fawn fire rages out of control. Authorities arrested a woman charged with arson tonight in connection to the inferno, which has already destroyed multiple homes near Redding, California. And a major fire near Sequoia National Forest is sending haze and smoke to Los Angeles. Our chief national correspondent Matt Gutman reports.
Tonight is the explosive Fawn fire, the highest priority fire in the nation, threatens homes north of Redding, California. That 30-year-old woman arrested for suspected arson to wildland.
We are aware
that there are possible additional fires here in our county that she may be linked to.
And tonight, new evacuation orders. Some 4,000 people already fleeing, dozens of homes and other structures destroyed. At this house, only the chimney left standing. Tonight, an estimated more than 9,000 structures threatened. Time-lapse video showing a mushroom cloud of black smoke. It sounds like ammunition popping off inside a burning garage. And to the south, firefighters driving through a tunnel of flames from the Windy Fire in the Sequoia National Forest.
And Matt Gutman joins us now from California. Matt, what are the crews most concerned about as we head into the weekend now squarely in peak fire season in California?
You just hit it. It's peak fire season. Any small breeze compounded with how dry all the brushes, all the trees are, the drought that we've had here for the past year, the worst in recorded history, all of that is compounding into devastating potential fire weather. If there's a big breeze, a change in wind, that could really turbocharge these fires into something that is even more devastating than it has been. So they're really on guard right now. They can't afford any additional fires sparked naturally or by arson, as it appears to be the case that happened in the Fawn fire near Redding, California, Juju.
Absolutely. Talk about a tinderbox. And Matt, prosecutors are in Northern California also filing criminal charges today against Pacific Gas and Electric, or PG&E, for its role in the deadly fire last year.
4 people killed in that fire, Juju, and so prosecutors charged them with 31 counts, including for manslaughter. The company says it admits that a tree took down one of its power lines, that it was culpable in some ways, but company says it did not commit a crime. There are millions of trees out there, and it did the best it could to prevent fire, and it's working and spending billions of dollars this season to try to avert fires like that. Juju.
Matt Gutman, thank you. Hoping for good conditions this weekend.
Yeah.
And now to the fallout after those images surfaced showing Border Patrol agents on horseback confronting migrants. President Biden weighing in for the first time on camera today, calling their actions horrible and saying people will pay. And tonight, Homeland Security reports that no migrants remain at the Del Rio crossing, while providing new numbers on how many were able to enter the U.S. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
Tonight, thousands of migrants cleared out from this underpass in Del Rio, Texas. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas revealing 30,000 tried to cross the border through this city in just the past 2 weeks. More than 17,000 remain in the country. Many will have their asylum cases heard before immigration judges. And today, for the first time, President Biden addressing these images. Border Patrol agents on horseback trying to stop migrants.
Do you take responsibility for the chaos that's unfolding?
Of course I take responsibility. I'm president, but it was horrible what to see, as you saw. To see people treated like they did, horses barely running them over, people being strapped. It's outrageous. I promise you those people will pay.
But the Homeland Security Secretary saying he will wait for an investigation to play out.
The president was really clear today. He said those Border Patrol agents on horseback seen in those images will pay. So do you disagree with that?
Oh, no. I know the president was echoing the sentiments of the American public, but I want to speak to the fact that this investigation will be based on the facts that the investigators learn, and the results of the investigation will be driven by those facts.
Clearly still a lot of debate on how this migrant surge has been handled. And Rachel Scott is joining us now. Meanwhile, the White House is saying next week will be a pivotal moment in that push for those major spending bills. Rachel, outline for us what's in store on Monday and what the planning is on those key votes.
Well, Juju, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says that she does plan to bring the bipartisan infrastructure package to the floor of the House for a vote on Monday. And then later in the week, she plans to bring that much larger economic package, the so-called human infrastructure. That's funding for everything from child care to climate change, also to the floor for a vote. The big problem here is that there is a stalemate between progressives and moderates in the Democratic Party. The president said as much today, and now they have little time to resolve those issues. They are still not on the same page on the price tag of that overall economic package, and now they'll be working through the weekend trying to resolve those key issues by next week. Juju?
Rachel, so much to untangle with the clock ticking. Thanks so much. Investigators continue searching through the treacherous terrain of Florida's Carlton Nature Reserve in hopes of finding and arresting Gabby Petito's boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. Let's bring in now ABC's Trevor Ault, who's in Florida for us following developments. Trevor, it's now day 10 of this search. Where do things stand in terms of the investigation? And do you think authorities feel like they're getting any closer to him?
Well, it's hard to say, Juju. We know that investigators are not revealing a lot about their search other than telling us that they plan to keep going through the weekend. We've been watching as they've been driving their equipment out of the nature reserve for the remainder of Friday night. They say they will be back out tomorrow. They will be back out the next day unless they, of course, find Brian Laundrie. And that does seem to be a very big if. It's possible that he's in this nature reserve. That's what officials say. His family told them that he may be in here. But I spoke with a wilderness expert who takes people on tours in the surrounding swamp around this area, and she stressed that in order to last a week and a half in here, not only would you be miserable, but you'd have to be an expert survivalist because there are so many things in here that can kill you, from alligators, wild boars, snakes, down to the dehydration especially. It is really dangerous conditions, both for a person who might be in there trying to hide and also for the people who continue to search. That's why they are being very meticulous. They say they are not giving up, but they're being very tight-lipped about revealing anything. And also, Juju, we should mention, while authorities, if they find Brian Laundrie, can arrest him now because of that federal indictment, that is not for Gabby Petito's homicide. That is for allegedly illegally using a debit card and PIN to withdraw money after her death. The investigation into Gabby's disappearance and in finding whoever killed her, that is still ongoing, Juju.
Treacherous indeed. Now, what can you tell us about Gabby's family and any funeral arrangements for her?
So we're hearing that the funeral is now planned for Sunday. It's going to be back on Long Island, where Gabby is from. It's in Holbrook, New York. That'll be happening 2 days from now. We do know we're still waiting on the full autopsy report to be complete. Gabby Petito's family had said that they weren't going to be moving forward and not going to be making any statements until Gabby was back home. The family is, of course, grieving. They've been asking for space. They've been getting it. We're going to see these vigils continue and then this funeral on Sunday for a family that, of course, is torn apart. Juju.
Trevor Ault, thank you. And in our next hour, we'll have an expert join us who can give us tips on how to identify potentially troubled relationships and when and if you should intervene. When we come back, the death of a college student after an alleged hazing incident and nearly a dozen facing charges. How did one of the world's most popular pop bands become special United Nations envoys? Well, I got to ask the members of BTS in our ABC News exclusive coming up. But up next, the fate of R. Kelly is now in the hands of the jury. What type of evidence are they looking into? We'll break it all down next.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Hug you. Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 12 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
This is what being live is all about. This is ABC News Live.
All right, we're gonna move back. Let's move back.
We're surrounded by people
squeezing into this bomb shelter.
Run, urgent delivery, run.
Not afraid to go there.
So my question, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Breaking news, live events.
This is the moment.
Streaming straight to you, anytime, anywhere.
You just met one friend right here.
You're watching ABC News Live. Thanks for streaming with us.
Admit it. These days, what you need to know
seems to change just about every day.
What is it that you really want to know, need to know?
To help you not just get through your day,
but to make the most of it. Feel smarter.
Feel better.
Feel happier.
Well, how about a third hour of Good Morning America?
GMA 3, what you need to know. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
It's all about you.
This is American history, a violent white mob, a brutal attack, 300 black Americans killed right here in America. Now, it is time to uncover Tulsa's buried truth. The gripping story brought to light in a new podcast from ABC News, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Sex, gambling, fraud, betrayal, and murder. Cutthroat Inc., the podcast. A family on a mission to find their son. A year's worth of conversations with the killer. Cutthroat Inc. Subscribe for free now on your favorite podcast app. Hours, Assault on the Capitol, the ABC News original, exclusively on Hulu, now streaming. Now with so much on the line, more Americans are turning to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight than any other program across all of television.
Okay, for real, is William Shatner about to go boldly into space? That's right, Captain Kirk himself. We have learned from a source with knowledge of the situation that the actor who famously played Captain Kirk will be on the second civilian flight aboard Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. If true, the 90-year-old would become the oldest person to go into space. We expect a formal announcement on Monday. Turning now to the R. Kelly trial here in New York. The case is now in the jury's hands to decide whether to convict the singer for sex trafficking and racketeering. Prosecutors accuse him of a pattern of crime lasting almost 3 decades, including preying on minors. The defense claimed he's innocent and that his accusers are ex-girlfriends and fame seekers. For more, we bring in attorney Bernardo Villalona from Joey Jackson Law Firm. Thank you, Bernardo.
Thank you.
You know, some were expecting a really quick verdict, but there are clearly a lot of questions that jurors need to unpack and decide. What are some of the biggest ones?
Absolutely. You're talking about a trial that took about 5 weeks, and you're talking about 45 witnesses that the prosecution put forth, as well as 5 witnesses that the defense put forth. In addition to that, hundreds of pieces of exhibits that have been put forth in front of the jury. I mean, for the jury at this time, it's just so much evidence in terms of testimony to parse through and to determine the credibility, the believability of these victims that came forward. It's going to be very difficult for the jury to go through that, especially when you're talking about one RICO charge that consists of 14 different acts, as well as 8 man acts that are on the indictment as well.
You mentioned the RICO Act. So just how difficult is it for prosecutors to prove the federal crime of racketeering? And how do they go about getting it so that you can prove that kind of a case?
So the federal crime of racketeering is very difficult usually to prove, because normally the crime of racketeering is used when you're talking about mafia cases, when you're talking about gang cases, but you have never really ever seen it used against an R&B legend, a celebrity that he engaged in his singing career. The purposes of his tours were to go and gather women in order to engage in sexual criminal acts with them. You don't see that happening. It's difficult for the prosecution in that sense, and also that they have to prove that, look, there was an enterprise, that the people that worked underneath R. Kelly were working with him, knowing and intelligently, in order to procure these women to engage in sexual acts with R. Kelly, and that this was a pattern throughout the years with R. Kelly. However, the prosecution, during a 6-hour closing argument, was able to say, like, look, his bodyguards, his managers, his drivers, his personal assistants, that they all enabled R. Kelly in the sense of keeping them quiet, arranging their travel, arranging that someone is with them at all times. So things like that are what the jury's going to have to consider, but it's very difficult in this sense because we're not dealing with the typical RICO of a mafia or gang case.
And so look at the trial through the eyes of the jury, if you will. What testimony or evidence would be front and center for you in your mind?
So if I were a juror, I think what they're grappling with right now and what they should be grappling with, like, look, the prosecution gave a good closing argument. But guess what? The defense also gave a good and passionate closing argument that did make sense. So I think what they're grappling up with is what the defense said, that these women, because through cross-examination, I think that's what they should be focusing on, a lot came out in terms of there's non-disclosure agreements, there's been settlements, they've been lawsuits, there are open lawsuits. These women came in with attorneys to the court. So I will be focusing on the cross-examination of these ladies that testify in order to come with a verdict in this case, because it's a lot to handle when you're talking about and basing your evidence strictly on testimony, because the corroboration was little to none.
So much complexity involved in this case, and yet the jurors were dismissed for the weekend, and they'll be back Monday morning. I know legal eagles like you don't like to predict, but when do you think we might see a verdict, and venture to guess what it might be?
So we got a peek at to what the jury is deliberating, what they're focusing on, and their jury note that they sent around, I believe around 4 o'clock or so, where they were asking for the exhibits, where they were asking for the letter that Jane Doe number 5, wrote to her brother saying that R. Kelly did nothing wrong and he's been nothing but respectful. They also asked for the entire testimony of Sonia, which is Jane Doe number 3. So I think what they're doing is that they're going victim by victim as the indictment has it laid out in order to make a determination, which will mean that they are going to last a while in order to reach a verdict. Because at this point, based on that note, they were still talking about Jane Doe number 3. I believe maybe Tuesday or Wednesday there'll be a verdict in this case. But hey, you just never know when you're talking about 12 strangers that don't know each other and have to unanimously agree on a verdict.
Wow. Well, thank you for reading the legal tea leaves. I appreciate your insights, Bernarda Villalona. Thank you.
Thank you.
And still ahead here on Prime, Chicago police releasing that body cam of the confrontation under investigation of one of their officers and a black woman at the park walking a dog. What does it show? And China is blocking the use of Bitcoin for transactions. We take a look by the numbers. But first, our tweet of the day, a picture from the Hubble Space Telescope of our universe.
We will guide you through it all tonight. We have made it through another week together.
Big hug,
We taught all our patients how much they love to hold their hands.
David, we're showing our love and support for all the ICU staff.
They're the heroes in this.
It was an extraordinary story.
A computer salesman was supposed to report to prison to begin a 17-year sentence.
They let him turn himself into jail with no escort.
No one thought he would run.
How do you evade capture for 25 years? How do you do that?
Now, join the search, following the U.S. Marshals as they uncover new leads in a global manhunt. Can you help catch this fugitive?
Have you seen this man?
Have you seen this man?
Have you seen this man? Listen and join the all-new hunt wherever you get your podcasts.
The world may feel out of your control, but your happiness doesn't have to be. Learn the secrets to happiness. Listen to the 10% Happier podcast, free on Apple Podcasts.
Now, with so much on the line, more Americans are turning to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight than any other program across all of television.
This is GMA3, what you need to know. GMA3.
A third hour of Good Morning America in the afternoon.
It's all about you. Lunchtime on ABC.
This is what being live is all about. This is ABC News Live.
All right, we're gonna move back. Let's move back. We're surrounded by people squeezing into this bomb shelter.
We're on an urgent delivery run.
Not afraid to go there.
So my question, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Breaking news, live events.
This is the moment.
Streaming straight to you, anytime, anywhere.
You just met one friend right here.
You're watching ABC News Live. Thanks for streaming with us.
Now streaming on ABC News Live 2020. True crime, cinematic, real-life drama, stunning, the unthinkable. Follow the clues. The Hunt. True crime 2020. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
We march together.
powerful stories of our time, anytime. Nightline.
Now to major news about cryptocurrency. China has declared all transactions involving these digital currencies illegal. Its central bank saying this currency disrupts economic order and is linked to money laundering, fraud, and other illicit activities. Here's a look by the numbers. 10 Chinese agencies were involved in today's notice, including the central bank, financial regulators, and law enforcement agencies, underscoring the seriousness of this new ban. Bitcoin immediately plunged 8% on the news. The notoriously volatile digital currencies are down about 30% from all-time highs in the spring, but Bitcoin is still up some 40% since the start of the year. 2008, that's when Bitcoin, the world's first cryptocurrency, launched. And since then, more than $7 trillion of it has been transferred. These currencies are currently a high-risk, high-return investment gamble, but as a payment method, they're touted for transferring 48 times faster than international wire transfers, with low fees and no middlemen. But they're problematic for so many reasons. Among them, their environmental impact. Creating Bitcoin consumes about 91 terawatt hours of electricity annually. That's more than the energy used each year in Finland alone, a nation of about 5.5 million people, according to the New York Times. And one last point. Today's announcement comes as China prepares to introduce its own state-backed digital currency in the coming months. And we still have a ton to get to here on Prime. She is one of the most iconic supermodels, and now she's claiming an FDA-cleared cosmetic procedure left her brutally disfigured. They hold 23 Guinness World Records, and when the president of South Korea called them to use their celebrity for good, BTS also called out to their millions of fans to get to work. And the touching tribute from Sarah Jessica Parker to the friend she worked with on Sex and the City. But first, a look at our top trending stories on abcnews.com.
It was an extraordinary story.
A computer salesman was supposed to report to prison to begin a 17-year sentence.
They let him turn himself into jail with no escort.
No one thought he would run.
How do you evade capture for 25 years? How do you do that?
Now, join the search, following the U.S. Marshals as they uncover new leads in a global manhunt. Can you help catch this fugitive?
Have you seen this man?
Have you seen this man?
Have you seen this man? Listen and join the all-new hunt wherever you get your podcast.
The most powerful stories of our time, anytime. Nightline.
Now streaming on ABC News Live 2020. True crime, cinematic, real-life drama, stunning, the unthinkable. Follow the clues. The Hunt. True crime 2020. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
Admit it. These days, what you need to know
Seems to change just about every day.
what is it that you really want to know, need to know,
To help you not just get through your day,
but to make the most of it. Feel smarter.
feel better.
Feel happier.
Well, how about a third hour of Good Morning America?
GMA 3, what you need to know. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
It's all about you.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
How cute. Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 12 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
This is what being live is all about. This is ABC News Live.
All right, we're gonna move back. Let's move back. We're surrounded by people squeezing into this bomb shelter.
We're on an urgent delivery run.
Not afraid to go there.
So my question, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Breaking news, live events.
This is the moment.
Streaming straight to you, anytime, anywhere.
You just met one friend right here.
You're watching ABC News Live. Thanks for streaming with us.
A new wave
5 of Americans who received the Pfizer COVID vaccine now have the green light to get a booster shot. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky agreeing with an advisory panel to allow tens of thousands of Americans, including those in long-term care facilities, seniors 65 years and older, and others as young as 18 who have underlying health conditions, to get the third dose 6 months after their second Pfizer shot. But in a surprise move, Dr. Walensky rejecting the panel's recommendation to leave out frontline workers for now, meaning right now teachers, daycare staff, grocery and healthcare workers can also get in line for the booster shots.
It was a decision about providing rather than withholding access.
The shots will start rolling out at more than 30,000 healthcare centers and pharmacies nationwide.
11 people are now indicted in connection to the alleged tasing death of a Virginia college freshman. So far, 8 arrests have been made. 19-year-old Adam Oakes died from alcohol poisoning and was found dead at a home off of his campus after a Delta Chi fraternity party back in February.
We want people to see that what happened to Adam can happen to anybody.
The fraternity was permanently suspended in June after an investigation. Oakes' cause of death was ruled an accident by a chief medical examiner. A tragic development in the case of missing Jelani Day. The Illinois grad student's body was found in a river.
Today, the LaSalle County Coroner's Office identified the male body that was found on September 4th as Jelani Day of Bloomington, Illinois. The cause of death is unknown, pending further investigation and toxicology testing.
25-year-old Day was first reported missing on August 25th after failing to show up to class for multiple days. Day's family is now calling on the public's help as they seek answers for his death.
Nearly a month after an encounter between an African-American woman and a Chicago police officer went viral, the city's Civilian Office of Police Accountability releasing body camera footage of the incident.
Now understand this.
Please respect my space.
Respect your space? I'm about to put handcuffs on you.
The video shows Nikita Brown and the officer arguing before things turn physical.
I'm about to put handcuffs on you. You don't keep walking. Do you want to test me on this?
Back up. Let go of me!
The officer hasn't been charged, and the incident is still under investigation. Sarah Jessica Parker breaking her silence over the death of her longtime Sex and the City co-star and friend, Willie Garson.
This is my best prom ever. Thank you for coming.
SJP posting to Instagram on Friday, "It's been unbearable. Sometimes silence is a statement of the gravity, the anguish, the magnitude of the loss of a 30-plus year friendship." Going on to say, "Willie, I will miss everything about you and replay our last memories together. I will reread every text from your final days and put to pen our last calls. Your absence a crater that I will fill with blessing of these memories and all the ones that are still in recesses yet to surface." Both actors were working on the Sex and the City spin-off series, and just like that, when Garson unexpectedly died from pancreatic cancer. He was 57 years old.
Bad Bunny swept the Latin billboards last night, taking home 10 awards, including the coveted Artist of the Year award. Bad Bunny released a total of 3 albums last year, including his record-breaking Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana.
Los respeto mucho y gracias por hacer buena música, los quiero.
But despite this big night, it was this moment where he not only escorted, but lowered a microphone that was too tall for the iconic Paquita La Del Barrio, who was given the Lifetime Achievement Award for her incredible 50-year career.
And welcome back. Now to supermodel Linda Evangelista, saying a cosmetic procedure that's been performed millions of times left her disfigured and depressed. Now she's filed a lawsuit seeking $50 million in damage. Ariel Reshef has more.
She is one of the most iconic supermodels in the world. Linda Evangelista, a household name in the 90s, appearing in George Michael's Freedom. Gracing the cover of nearly every magazine and strutting every coveted catwalk. But in a new Instagram post, she claims a cosmetic procedure left her brutally disfigured, and subsequent surgeries left her unrecognizable, ending her storied 30-year career. The model writing, "Cool Sculpting did the opposite of what it promised. It increased, not decreased, my fat cells and left me permanently deformed even after undergoing 2 painful, unsuccessful corrective surgeries." Evangelista now suing Zeltic Aesthetics, the maker of Cool Sculpting, now owned by Allergan, for $50 million, alleging Cool Sculpting caused her disfigurement, pain and suffering, severe emotional distress, and that she sustained economic losses as it rendered her unemployable. According to its website, Cool Sculpting is an FDA-cleared cosmetic procedure performed more than 8 million times, marketed as a non-surgical way to target fat cells, freezing them so they eventually break down.
It's probably the #1 non-surgical fat reduction technology in the world.
Her lawsuit alleging the supermodel, who famously said she wouldn't wake up for less than $10,000 a day, underwent 7 Cool Sculpting treatments between 2015 and 2016, and now suffers from a condition called PAH as a result.
There's a really rare complication called paradoxical adipose hyperplasia that's sort of gaining widespread understanding as the technology gains more popularity. The tissue that's been treated that does qualify as PAH is certainly harder. It's like a firm mass, and it can occur usually, anytime after 6 months or even sooner after the treatment. This complication called PAH is exceedingly rare.
Evangelista claiming Zeltic offered corrective surgery free of charge, but on the condition that she sign a confidentiality agreement. When she declined that request, she says they agreed to still cover the cost, but that after the surgery, they reneged on that promise. And she also alleged in her lawsuit the surgery failed. On its website, Allergan acknowledges that paradoxical adipose hyperplasia is a potential side effect of the procedure.
Now, you may or may not be part of the Army, but in addition to 23 Guinness World Records, the K-pop supergroup BTS can now add the title Special Presidential Envoys for Future Generations and Culture to the list of their accolades. The 7 bandmates joined South Korean President Moon at the United Nations this week, and I got to sit down with them for this very special interview.
BTS, the record-breaking global pop sensation, now taking on global diplomacy. Singing and dancing through the United Nations in an unprecedented performance. Delivering a powerful message on a worldwide stage. The 7 superstars fulfilling their diplomatic mission after being appointed special presidential envoys for future generations and culture by South Korean President Moon Jae-in. They sat down with us jointly to explain their unlikely pairing.
When they performed at the UN, 1 million people tuned in to watch live, which doesn't usually happen.
BTS가 청년층들을 대표하고 있고 또 청년층들로부터 아주 널리 공감을 받고 있기 때문에 그 문제에 대해서 젊은이들의 공감과 인식을 확산시킬 수 있을 거라고 생각합니다.
저희가 특사를 받고 임명장을 또 받고 그 스피치와 퍼포먼스를 했다는 게 아직 믿겨지진 않는데 약간 시간이 멈췄다라는 느낌을 받았었는데 뭔가 너무 행복한 시간인 것 같습니다.
Now the band behind the song of the summer, Butter, using their massive influence to help bring younger generations into the fight for change.
What are you trying to say to your fans, to the Army, to be able to affect some change in combating climate crisis?
중요한 것은 저희도 이 변화랑 이 위기를 인지한 지 얼마 안 됐기 때문에 이것이 체인지 단계가 아니고 크라이시스라는 거를 많은 사람들이 인지하는 게 첫 번째인 것 같아요.
BTS tackling the toughest global issues, from climate to COVID.
Will you feel comfortable to be able to go out on tour again?
공연에 대한 뭔가 되게 이 마음이 큰 만큼 하루빨리 상황이 좋아져서 그리고 많은 분들이 또 백신 접종을 해서 좀 공연할 수 있는 환경이 됐으면 좋을 것 같다는 생각이 드네요.
Suga, if I can turn to you, a lot of your stories talked about your fans feeling isolated and feeling alone. And I know that you've talked about your struggles, about mental health and about depression before. And I wonder if you like to give encouraging messages to them and what, if anything, you've learned throughout this pandemic on that score.
사람이 이제 터널을 지나갈 때 저 터널 반대편에 이게 조그마한 불빛이라도 있어야지 사실 그 불빛을 따라가면서 이제 터널을 나갈 수 있다라고 생각을 하는데 사실 이제 코비드가 처음 시작되고 이제 저희들 안에서도 저희 앞에 있던 모든 스케줄들, 투어와 모든 스케줄들이 다 취소가 되는 거 보면서 저희들 또한 붕 떠서 뭘 해야 될지에 대한 고민들과 그리고 저희들도 저희 사이에서 굉장히 좀 어느 정도의 우울감이 분명하게 존재했다고 생각해요. 모두가 함께 힘을 내서 함께 힘을 모아서 변화를 해 가야지만 이런 상황들에서 이제 벗어날 수 있다고 생각이 들거든요. 그래서 뭐 저희뿐만 아니라 이제 전 세계 모든 사람들이 다 같이 극복을 하려고 노력을 한다면 이런 고립이나 이런 우울감에서 좀 더 빠르게 벗어날 수 있지 않나 이런 생각이 들면서요.
What do you say to fans who might be hesitant about getting the vaccine?
일단 저희도 모두 다 같이 백신을 맞았고 백신에 대해 두려움이 있다는 것은 저도 어느 정도 이제 공감을 하고 왜냐하면 이전에 없었던 새로운 것이니까 저 무서운 게 당연하다라고 저도 공감을 하는데 저는 이 과거의 것을 두려워한다면은 뭔가 앞으로의 발전은 없다고 생각을 하거든요.
What do you miss most about being on the road?
저희 앞에 있던 투어와 모든 스케줄들이 다 취소가 되는 거 보면서 어느 정도의 우울감이 분명하게 존재했다고 생각해요. 뭐 저희뿐만 아니라 이제 전 세계 모든 사람들이 다 같이 극복을 하려고 노력을 한다면 이런 고립이나 이런 우울감에서 좀 더 빠르게 벗어날 수 있지 않나 생각해요.
이 코로나가 빨리 종식돼가지고 저희가 좋아하는 공연을 빨리 많이 할 수 있게 되면 좋을 것 같습니다.
일단은 지금 제가 가장 그리워하는 거는 저를 사랑해 주시는 많은 사람들을 못 보는 게 가장 그립고 슬픈 것 같아요. 그래서 뭐 투어도 포함이 되겠지만은 가장 제일 중요한 거는 저희를 믿고 응원하고 이렇게 저희의 모든 거를 다 안아주시는 저희의 팬분들, 아미분들을 이제 실제로 눈을 못 마주친 지가 거의 한 1년 반, 2년 가까이 정도 되는데 이게 정말 실제로 안 보니까 어느샌가 이제 의문이 들더라고요. 존재하나?
The BTS army of fans growing, even President Moon joining the ranks.
사실 이게 퍼미션 투 댄스는 노래도 아주 아름답고 또 안무도 아름답지만 차이를 뛰어넘는 어떤 통합이라는 그런 메시지를 세계인들에게 전달해 주었다고 생각합니다. 뭐 이런 게 다
This is pretty good. Even I can do this.
이렇게
하는
What
거.
is this?
그다음에 마지막에 이걸 해줘야 됩니다.
이것도요. 예.
It's a group dance. It's the Korean in us.
Clearly, the Korean in us. And just so you know, this means dancing. It's one of the things I picked up hanging out with BTS. And it's so nice to hear them express themselves on such a wide-ranging view of topics. We will have much more of my exclusive interview with BTS and the president of South Korea tonight on Nightline at ABC. But before we go tonight, the image of the day. They are calling it the Miracle House, surrounded by smoldering lava. One home with an orange roof and white halls is still standing in La Palma, Spain. The homeowners who are elsewhere due to the pandemic reportedly said they were relieved it's still standing. Relieved is an understatement. And that's our show for this hour. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks for streaming with us. Coming up in the next hour, we're staying on top of a few items, including the Line 3 pipeline. Heard of it? Environmental activists are calling on the White House to intervene and stop its completion. We traveled there to see why it's the latest flashpoint in the fight against climate change. And we still don't know how Gabby Petito died, but based on this police encounter and eyewitness accounts, there may have been something amiss in her relationship with her boyfriend. But how can casual bystanders or family members spot signs of trouble if they see it? We dive into that topic. Stay with us.
This is what being live is all about. This is ABC News Live.
All right, we're gonna move back. Let's move back.
We're surrounded by people squeezing into this bomb shelter.
We're on an urgent delivery run.
Not afraid to go there.
So my question, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Breaking news, live events.
This is the moment.
Streaming straight to you, anytime, anywhere.
You just met one friend right here.
You're watching ABC News Live. Thanks for streaming with us.
It was an extraordinary story.
A computer salesman was supposed to report to prison to begin a 17-year sentence.
They let him turn himself into jail with no escort.
No one thought he would run.
How do you evade capture for 25 years? How do you do that?
Now, join the search, following the U.S. Marshals as they uncover new leads in a global manhunt. Can you help catch this fugitive?
Have you seen this man?
Have you seen this man?
Have you seen this man? Listen and join the all-new hunt wherever you get your podcasts.
Admit it. These days, what you need to know
Seems to change just about every day.
What is it that you really want to know, need to know?
To help you not just get through your day,
but to make the most of it. Feel smarter.
Feel better.
Feel happier.
Well, how about a third hour of Good Morning America?
GMA 3, what you need to know. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
It's all about you.
The world may feel out of your control, but your happiness doesn't have to be. Learn the secrets to happiness. Listen to the 10% Happier podcast, free on Apple Podcasts.
Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, Michael Strahan. Wake up with America's #1 most watched morning show. ABC's
Good Morning America.
I'm Juju Chang. Thanks for streaming with us. We're monitoring several developments here at ABC News at this hour. Authorities tonight have arrested a woman for allegedly starting the fawn fire, which is threatening more than 9,000 structures and forces families to evacuate. We continue to monitor that situation. The House of Representatives has passed legislation that would guarantee a woman's right to choose abortion. It's an attempt to establish a federal protection for choice and is, of course, a response to Texas, where nearly all abortions are now banned. The bill, though, is now heading to the Senate, where it has pretty much zero chance of being passed. And Derek Chauvin plans to appeal his conviction for the death of George Floyd. Court documents show he plans to appeal on 14 grounds, including the fact that they had it in Minneapolis. Legal experts tell us it will be tough for him to win. And now to the latest on the pandemic, as millions more Americans now qualify for a third Pfizer shot after the CDC director approved boosters for a wider group of people that includes frontline workers, a group the CDC panel had voted against recommending just yesterday. The booster shot program is now rolling out at more than 30,000 locations across the country, including urgent care clinics, health centers, and pharmacies. ABC's Whit Johnson has the latest.
Across the country today, Americans who just became eligible for a Pfizer booster lining up to get that third shot. From Boston to San Antonio, where some waited for 2 hours.
Everyone should get their booster shot as soon as possible.
It comes less than 24 hours after the CDC signed off on Pfizer booster shots for people 65 and older, residents of long-term care facilities, and those 18 and older with underlying conditions. And on the one question that the CDC advisory panel said no to, boosters for frontline workers like teachers, daycare staff, grocery, and healthcare workers, the CDC director going against the panel, instead including those frontline workers, today defending her decision.
Our healthcare systems are once again at maximum capacity in parts of the country. Our teachers are facing uncertainty as they walk into the classroom, and I must do what I can to preserve the health across our nation.
And despite weeks of debate within the scientific community, today several health experts backing the CDC director.
Ultimately, this is an advisory committee, and Dr. Walensky gets to make the call, and she made the right call.
The boosters are now available at more than 30,000 locations nationwide, including urgent care clinics and pharmacies, like this Walgreens in Eastchester, New York.
How do you verify if someone is eligible for the booster?
We just ask them, honestly.
So it's the honor system?
Honestly, yeah, exactly. It is the honor system. We, take people's word for it. We don't dig too deep.
Up to 20 million Americans who got Pfizer are now eligible for a booster, but health officials are urging everyone else to wait their turn.
There will be temptations. There's an immunological reason why it's important to wait, because if you allow the immune response to mature over a period of a few months, you get much more of a bang out of the shot.
This new wave of booster shots does not include Moderna or Johnson & Johnson. An FDA review of those boosters is expected in the coming weeks. But the administration today putting the focus back on the unvaccinated.
I want to be clear. We will not boost our way out of this pandemic.
President Biden calling out the 70 million eligible Americans who still haven't gotten their first shot.
The unvaccinated overcrowd our hospitals, overrunning emergency rooms and intensive care units, leaving no room for someone with a heart attack or a cancer operation needed to get the life-saving care because the places where they would get that care are crowded.
And today, a reminder that breakthrough cases remain a threat. Confusion on set just moments before the vice president was to appear on The View on ABC.
We're back, and there seems to be something happening here that I'm not 100% aware of. Can someone please apprise me of the situation?
I need the two of you to step off for a second.
Okay. Anna and
we're going to bring
Sunny.
you back.
Co-host Sunny Hostin and guest host Anna Navarro asked to step off the set. Joy Behar then explaining they had just tested positive for COVID, even though they're both fully vaccinated.
What happened is that Sunny and Anna both apparently tested positive for COVID. No matter how hard we try, these things happen.
Kamala Harris was in the building, later joining the show remotely. Her office saying there had been no contact with the hosts before the broadcast.
I just want to say, I hope that you're in a safe spot right now. We did everything we could to make sure that you were safe because we value you so much.
Well, thank you, Joy, and to everyone. And listen, Sunny and Anna are strong women, and I know they're fine, but it really also does speak to the fact that they're vaccinated, and vaccines really make all the difference, because otherwise we would be concerned about hospitalization and worse.
And President Biden today is sharply criticizing the actions of Border Patrol agents on horseback, currently under investigation after images from the southern border showed them corralling Haitian migrants seeking asylum. The president says the scenes are beyond embarrassing and that International Bridge in Texas, where the migrants have been camping in filthy conditions, has been cleared. The administration says it'll continue repatriating the thousands moved from the area. ABC's Faith Abube has more.
President Biden promising there will be consequences in light of these images of Border Patrol agents on horseback confronting Haitian migrants on the southern border.
To see people treated like they did, horses barely running them over, people being strapped, it's outrageous. I promise you those people will pay.
Vice President Kamala Harris on ABC's The View, echoing the president's sentiments, saying she was outraged and deeply troubled by what she saw.
Human beings should not be treated that way, and as we all know, it also evoked images of some of the worst moments of our history.
The Department of Homeland Security has launched an investigation into the incident.
We ceased the use of horse patrol units in the area. The agents involved in these incidents have been assigned to administrative duties.
Border Patrol Council Vice President John Infanson pushing back on the president and vice president's comment, telling ABC News the administration is not truly interested in the results of the investigation, deciding the agents, quote, did something wrong without any form of due process. That should not be who we are. And now, after days of outrage, the last of the Haitian migrants have been cleared from under this international bridge in Del Rio, Texas, the area being bulldozed today. Since Sunday, more than a dozen repatriation flights have returned more than 1,900 migrants to Haiti. Another 3,900 are being processed here in the U.S., some returning to Mexico to avoid deportation. At the White House, ABC's Rachel Scott asking the president about responsibility.
This is happening under your watch. Do you take responsibility for the chaos that's unfolding?
Of course I take responsibility. I'm president.
Investigators continue searching through the treacherous terrain of Florida's Carlton Nature Reserve in hopes of finding and arresting Gabby Petito's boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. Let's bring in now ABC's Trevor Ault, who's in Florida for us following developments. Trevor, it's now day 10 of this search. Where do things stand in terms of the investigation? And do you think authorities feel like they're getting any closer to him?
Well, it's hard to say, Juju. We know that investigators are not revealing a lot about their search other than telling us that they plan to keep going through the weekend. We've been watching as they've been driving their equipment out of the nature reserve for the remainder of Friday night. They say they will be back out tomorrow. They will be back out the next day unless they, of course, find Brian Laundrie. And that does seem to be a very big if. It's possible that he's in this nature reserve. That's what officials say. His family told them that he may be in here. But I spoke with a wilderness expert who takes people on tours in the surrounding swamp around this area, and she stressed that in order to last a week and a half in here, not only would you be miserable, but you'd have to be an expert survivalist because there are so many things in here that can kill you, from alligators, wild boars, snakes, down to the dehydration especially. It is really dangerous conditions, both for a person who might be in there trying to hide and also for the people who continue to search. That's why they are being very meticulous. They say they are not giving up, but they're being very tight-lipped about revealing anything. And also, Juju, we should mention, while authorities, if they find Brian Laundrie, can arrest him now because of that federal indictment, that is not for Gabby Petito's homicide. That is for allegedly illegally using a debit card and PIN to withdraw money after her death. The investigation into Gabby's disappearance and in finding whoever killed her, that is still ongoing, Juju.
Treacherous indeed. Now, what can you tell us about Gabby's family and any funeral arrangements for her?
So we're hearing that the funeral is now planned for Sunday. It's going to be back on Long Island, where Gabby is from. It's in Holbrook, New York. That'll be happening 2 days from now. We do know we're still waiting on the full autopsy report to be complete. Gabby Petito's family had said that they weren't going to be moving forward and not going to be making any statements until Gabby was back home. The family is, of course, grieving. They've been asking for space. They've been getting it. We're going to see these vigils continue and then this funeral on Sunday for a family that, of course, is torn apart. Juju.
Absolutely. And our thanks to Trevor Alts. Well, the Gabby Petito case is just another example of violence against women, and we know exactly the specifics of her case are unknown, rather, but we do know that according to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, on average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States, and that's 20 people per minute. So joining us now to give us some guidance and perspective on how to identify any of these situations and what, if anything, we should do if we witness domestic violence is the Director of Futures Without Violence, Kirsten Stewart. Kirsten, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's start with the basics. We all know that abusive relationships don't all look alike. What are some of the key factors that you look for?
Absolutely. If you're a family or friend or even just a concerned member of the community, you want to notice if somebody's changing their behavior, if they seem to be afraid of their partner, if somebody who is enthusiastic and exuberant is all of a sudden very quiet or shy. Certainly if you see, bruises or cuts that can't be explained, but that isn't always the case. Sometimes the scars are very much inside. So if you do see or are concerned about domestic violence, ideally you can find a quiet time to talk to the person you're concerned about and really just ask them. We encourage people not to blame somebody, not to shame, to just make themselves available to have a conversation.
And in the Gabby Petito case specifically, we see that police cam video where she seems upset and he has scratches on his face. How can you differentiate whether someone is truly in danger versus a couple that's having an argument or having some sort of breakdown?
That is a hard question. And if you're, far away and out in public, you can't always tell. We suggest you always take your cue from the person who seems potentially to be the victim. Again, are they afraid of that person? Are they trying to avoid that person? Are they, sometimes the person who takes all the blame isn't necessarily the person who's doing the harm. So we always recommend that you try not to escalate the violence. You certainly don't want to do that. Getting in a confrontation with someone is not recommended. Again, ideally, you would try to take that person to the side. If you can separate the two people, have a conversation, offer resources. There's a national domestic violence hotline number that you can share. But really, it's about asking the person what they want, what they need, and if they feel safe.
So let's say, for example, a 911 call is made. What resources do police departments have to help victims and survivors? And are there specific police departments that have procedures that are best practices in this situation?
There's been extensive training thanks to the Violence Against Women Act for law enforcement. And that doesn't mean everybody does it perfectly right all the time, but we do see many better practices happening. One of the ideal situations is that you actually bring a domestic violence advocate out with you on a call for domestic violence, so they can, take the person aside, have a conversation. You want police to de-escalate the situation as much as possible, question the people separate and apart from one another. Often, if there are children in the home, we also ask that police officers pay attention to the needs of the children. Again, not asking the children to necessarily choose, one parent over another. That's a deeply traumatic experience for a child, but to be sure that there's also someone that the child can talk to and that the child's trauma from that experience is also addressed.
So much to consider. And yet we all know that when victims try to leave these types of relationships, that's when it's most dangerous. Many choose to stay in these relationships. What steps can be taken to ensure that there is safety both in or out of that relationship?
Well, we strongly recommend someone who's concerned about domestic violence to talk to a domestic violence advocate. They can help that person develop what we call a safety plan. And that really depends on the unique circumstances of that person. You help them identify, do you have a place to go if you need to? Do you know where your car keys are? Do you have what we call a go bag? Important, like your birth certificate, important papers, any medicines. So if you do need to leave a home quickly, you can just grab it and go. There are many domestic violence agencies across the country. As I said, there's also the National Domestic Violence Hotline, who can be reached via email, via phone, via chat. It's a great place to start, even if you're not necessarily ready to leave, or if you're just a concerned friend or family member. They can walk you through the steps that are tied to this person's particular situation.
And if someone is seeking help, where do you counsel them to seek help first? What should the first step be?
So most people actually reach out to friend or family first. Some people will talk to their faith leaders. Healthcare providers, we think, are another wonderful resource, especially because you can have the privacy to talk to them about what may be going on, as well as what may be the health consequences of violence. Most people don't actually go to the police first. And again, we strongly recommend a call to a domestic violence advocate. Many domestic violence programs just have someone you can talk to. You don't have to be ready to leave the relationship or run to a shelter. It can just be a person to talk to start thinking about your situation and what might be your options.
Kirsten Stewart, so much valuable information. As the director of Futures Without Violence, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, and thank you so much for covering this story. We really appreciate it.
Well, we're grateful to you. So if you or someone you know may be a victim of domestic violence, regardless of gender, you can call the National Domestic Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 7233. Or you can also text START to 88788. Well, as Congress continues to debate how much to spend on addressing climate change in the latest budget bill, environmental activists are calling on the White House to intervene and stop completion of the Line 3 pipeline, which runs from North Dakota to Wisconsin and crisscrosses multiple rivers, including part of the Mississippi River in Minnesota. So our Mary Alice Parks went to Minnesota for a closer look at the fight over this pipeline and the progressive House members joining that battle.
These are the headwaters of the mighty Mississippi, wetlands that feed into the longest river in the United States. From these streams, an economic engine and a life source providing fresh drinking water to an estimated 18 million people. And it is in part the fragility and significance of this land that has made the Line 3 pipeline project that crisscrosses these headwaters so controversial.
Protect the water, protect the trees.
Those opposed say the risks are unacceptable. Protests now spreading from coast to coast, from Hollywood to Capitol Hill. This pipeline project began in 2014. If completed and fully operational, the pipeline will be able to carry 760,000 barrels of Canadian oil a day through North Dakota to Wisconsin, with 337 miles in Minnesota. Members of the Red Lake Nation say it's a question of their rights to their land. The construction alone, they claim, has already had an impact, and a spill would be devastating.
It's some of the most pristine land in our entire United States. It's one of our national treasures the headwaters of our Mississippi, and they chose to put this pipeline directly through those headwaters.
The Red Lake Nation has joined the White Earth Band of the Ojibwe tribe, Honor the Earth, the Sierra Club, and others in a number of lawsuits over the years trying to stop the project. But federally, the Army Corps of Engineers has greenlit it. The Minnesota courts so far have sided with Enbridge, the energy company, and the state in its permitting process. A state judge writing last June, with an existing deteriorating pipeline carrying crude oil through Minnesota, there was no option without environmental consequences. And there's no crystal ball to forecast demand for crude oil in this ever-changing environment. The construction started as a replacement project. Enbridge was instructed by the EPA and the Department of Justice in 2017 to replace old pipes. The company says the new pipes are engineered to be safer.
This has been a 6-year regulatory, legal, science-based process where everything's been tested.
Opponents push back on that argument. After all, now a third of the route will be brand new. Just this week, the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources fined Enbridge over $3 million for digging deeper in some areas than their permits allowed. According to the agency, the violations released millions of gallons of groundwater while the state is struggling with a drought. Those still fighting in court are holding out hope that the federal government might intervene.
I support Biden. I support his agenda. For whatever reason, when it comes to Enbridge, when it comes to Line 3, they're going the wrong direction.
Minneapolis Representative Ilhan Omar has written repeatedly to the White House, too, demanding answers. She even brought her colleagues to the area to join the protests. I sat down with them, 4 members of the so-called squad.
The state Supreme Court let the certification for the pipeline stand. So are you out of time?
We are running out of time, which is why we're asking the president to intervene. This is the last hope that the water protectors have in stopping this pipeline.
And Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had planned to join her colleagues but canceled her trip last minute after devastating storms hit New York.
Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez was planning to be here as well. She's not because of the devastating floods in New York. She wrote that this is even more reason for the Biden White House, as she put it, to stop building fossil fuel infrastructure. Is it absolute, though, for you that there should be zero fossil fuel infrastructure developed?
We have other alternatives, and it's time for our country to move towards that direction.
There is today still a strong global demand for oil, but scientists like Heidi Roop say that the oil intended for this pipeline is one of the dirtiest. She tells us that burning all of the oil this pipeline could transport could make it nearly impossible for the president to meet his own goals for reducing emissions.
It translates roughly into around 38 million, the equivalent of 38 million cars on the road every year, or around 45 coal-fired power plants burning every year.
45?
Yeah, 45 coal-powered power plants, yes.
Enbridge, though, says the country can't just turn off all fossil fuels. Until there are enough cleaner alternatives, projects like Line 3 are still needed.
We can't push a button. We can't say, okay, we're going to stop what we're going to do today, and then all of a sudden, sorry, you don't get heat this year.
We're at a turning point. We need a wake-up call. Our governments need to wake up and look at what's going on. And if we don't do something drastic to change the way that things have been going, we're going to never turn the tide.
Enbridge says the Line 3 pipeline should be operational this fall, but these larger questions about climate change and the future of energy will stretch well beyond the 2,300 miles of Old Man River to the entire globe.
Our thanks to Mary Alice Parks. And still to come, the American ambassador visiting a Marine detained inside Russia. But is he any closer to gaining freedom? And the remarkable life of the nation's oldest park ranger as she turns 100. She's still working, by the way. And you will want to stick around for that one.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
How cute. Yes. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey. I guess I just found out now.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 12 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
This is what being live is all about. This is ABC News Live.
All right, we're gonna move back. Let's move back.
We're surrounded by people
squeezing into this bomb shelter.
We're on an urgent delivery run.
Not afraid to go there.
So my question, Mr. President, what are you so afraid of?
Breaking news, live events.
This is the moment.
Streaming straight to you, anytime, anywhere.
You just met one friend right here.
You're watching ABC News Live. Thanks for streaming with us.
Admit it. These days, what you need to know
Seems to change just about every day.
what is it that you really want to know, need to know,
To help you not just get through your day,
but to make the most of it. Feel smarter.
feel better.
Feel happier.
Well, how about a third hour of Good Morning America?
GMA 3, what you need to know. Now streaming on ABC News Live.
It's all about you.
This is American history. A violent white mob, a brutal attack, 300 black Americans killed right here in America. Now, it is time to uncover Tulsa's buried truth. The gripping story brought to light in a new podcast from ABC News. Available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Sex, gambling, fraud, betrayal, and murder. Cutthroat Inc., the podcast. A family on a mission to find their son. A year's worth of conversations with the killer. Cutthroat Inc. Subscribe for free now on your favorite podcast app. Hours, Assault on the Capitol, the ABC News original, exclusively on Hulu, now streaming. Now with so much on the line, more Americans are turning to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight than any other program across all of television.
We're tracking several international headlines at this hour. Britain's Prince Andrew has dropped his objections and stipulated that he has been properly served with a lawsuit by Virginia Giuffre, an accuser of Jeffrey Epstein, who claims the prince sexually harassed her several times. The royal has said it never happened. He's denied knowing Giuffre and has suggested that this well-known photo of him could have been doctored. The U.S. ambassador to Russia has visited Trevor Reed, who is the second American Marine detained inside that nation. Reed has been in detention for over 2 years on charges that U.S. officials and his families claim were made up. President Biden has called his release and that of former Marine Paul Whelan a priority. And a Chinese technology executive held in Canada on fraud charges has now left the country after a deal with U.S. prosecutors. The BBC reports Huawei's chief financial officer Meng Wanzhou entered into a deferred prosecution agreement to resolve a sanctions violation case that has kept her detained since late 2018. She has pled not guilty. And finally tonight, the remarkable life story of Betty Reed Soskin, the country's oldest national park ranger, who was given a special honor this week as she reached her 100th birthday. Our colleague from ABC, Liz Kreutz at KGO-TV in San Francisco, has the story.
Happy birthday to you.
Betty Reed Soskin has a lot to celebrate.
How are you doing today?
Hi, how are you? She's already the country's oldest national park ranger, an author, a musician, a civil rights activist, and she can claim 2 more big accomplishments. A school renamed in her honor, and turning 100.
100 years old.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I feel, I don't know how I feel. I feel sometimes 100 and sometimes 80, and sometimes 50.
That youthful energy is what's kept Reed Soskin working for more than a decade, first in person and now on Zoom at the Rosie the Riveter World War II Homefront National Park Museum. There she shares her own experience as a black woman working during the war as a file clerk in a segregated union hall. On the eve of her centennial birthday this week, we visited Reed Soskin at her home in Richmond and asked, what's her secret to such a long life?
I'm not sure that there is secret.
It's not like you
have a glass of wine every day or
no
whiskey every night?
No.
Chocolate?
Yes.
A little bit of chocolate?
Yes.
It turns out she does have a sweet tooth, but the real answer might simply be genetics. Her mother lived to be 101. Her grandmother, who was born a slave in 1856, lived to be 102.
And I was born in 1921 and still here.
Reed Soskin was born in Detroit, Michigan on September 22, 1921. Since then, she's lived through 17 U.S. presidents. But for her, just one stands out above the rest.
What's one memory that you're most proud of?
Standing with Obama on the stage in Washington, D.C., I had in my hand a little evening bag. In that bag was a picture of my great-grandmother, and I was holding it as I was introducing the President of the United States in the shadow of the Lincoln Memorial, in the shadow of the White House that was built by slaves. The whole meaning of that has really captured me.
It's probably a moment you never ever even thought would ever have been possible.
No, I would never have guessed that my life would have contained such vignettes.
The latest vignette, this moment, at the newly renamed Betty Reed Soskin Middle School in El Sobrante.
And our children deserve to have someone to look up to.
Reed Soskin brought to tears, overwhelmed with love and gratitude.
Having a school named for me is more than I could have ever thought of, because it means that a number of children will go into the world knowing who I was and what I was doing here. And maybe it will make a difference. I think maybe it will make a difference.
Happy birthday, Betty Reed Soskin. What a wonderful life. And that's our show for tonight. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Tomorrow, be sure to tune in for the 24-hour global citizen event aiming to end extreme poverty around the world. All day on ABC News Live, beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm Juju Chang. Thanks for streaming with us.
This is what being live is all about.